sir. Y'all know what time it is. Just got some good information that happened on that little Xbox Direct. You know what I'm saying? So we about to get it started in a second. Get this stuff together momentarily, then we gonna kick this thing off, right? You know how the EmpBruh do. As I'm putting this stuff together, go ahead and hit that like button. Let everybody follow on in because we got to get this Hill Truth live. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? My good people. Seems like we just got, a little bit of cool news today. Not from Nintendo directly, you know what I mean? But we did get some indirectly news about Nintendo Switch 2 from, the great value brand of Nintendo Directs, being the Xbox Direct. So I definitely want to give my reactions to what's been going on, what happened in this Direct. Kind of very indicative about a lot of stuff that probably is a lot of stuff Switch 2 related, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to bring that to you. So we really gonna have to go through all this stuff that we saw. We really are. So first thing we're gonna do, obviously on the Hill Truth Live, we're gonna look at this little recap of the Xbox Developer Direct if you have not seen it yet, and we're going to figure it out. Look at all this awesomeness that came out. Look at all the games that got, stealth released and stealth announced, by the way, because that was a little bit surprising what Microsoft had showed. And of course, I'm gonna go ahead and give my reaction to the stuff that we saw. Then we're gonna put it all in perspective, because it's highly likely that the stuff that we've seen it's probably coming to Switch 2. As a matter of fact, I think I got evidence that a lot of what we saw is coming to Switch 2. So if you haven't seen the Xbox Developer Direct yet, I'm just going to go ahead and play this little recap for you so you can get caught up on what I want to say about the certain games that were shown. And we're going to talk about Switch 2 afterwards. So first of all, I got to get this trailer actually working. I don't know why this trailer is acting stupid right now. I don't know what this thing is about. But yeah, I think we got it. I think we got it all good now. I think we got it all good. So let's make sure this. Okay, I think the volume is good. So we're gonna watch this little snippet trailer real quick. There was some good-ish that went on for sure. And yeah, let's take a look at this beautiful bean footage first. Damn, this thing loud.
You will feel like the super weapon in the center of a medieval war against hell.
All of Azel's powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels. The combat system is built around chaining attacks and unraveling enemies.
Our reactive turn-based system has a real-time reaction, which gives combat greater intensity and dynamism.
リングやシリーズおなじみの体術など忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。皆様に進化した忍者ガイデンを
I still can't believe this game got announced. Still can't believe it. Platinum Games, the GOATs! Now, as y'all can see, there were 4 major games that got announced here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that back on up so we can see that on the screen. Yeah, that's beautiful right there. Put that beautiful thing right there. 4 games, well, I ain't going to say 4 games got announced, but 4 games got showcased. But what did get announced was Ninja Gaiden 4, which is a collaboration between Team Ninja and Platinum Games. I don't know about y'all, but that has to be the greatest tag team perfect matchup in gaming history. I never thought I would see the day that Team Ninja and Platinum Games would be working together on an action game. I'm still kind of taken back from it. I'm still kind of shocked that that's actually a real thing. Not only is them two working together, but damn, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then on top of that, Team Ninja, who has been missing in action for quite a while, also said we're going to drop Ninja Gaiden Black 2 remake, and Stealth dropped it today. So that was probably the best opening to an Xbox developer direct I have ever seen. And Ninja Gaiden 4 looked fantastic. I mean, that game looks phenomenal. Everybody was over here, going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with Phantom Blade Zero, but nah, I think Ninja Gaiden got that game beat. This game looks phenomenal, and I think this game is going to be probably the biggest sleeper hit. And it's kind of funny to say sleeper hit when you say the name Ninja Gaiden, which is such a historic franchise, but it's a lot of big things coming out this year, and we wasn't expecting Ninja Gaiden 4 to be one of them. And the interesting part about that is that not only is Platinum Games co-developing it with Team Ninja, but Xbox is publishing that game. So Xbox is footing the bill for that game, which I thought was really interesting. So Ninja Gaiden 4, surprise was amazing. Gameplay looks amazing. Reveal, amazing. That was probably the best opening to an Xbox Developer Direct I've ever seen. So kudos to Xbox for that. Next, we seen South of Midnight. Now, was on the fence about this game a little bit. I like the art style, I like the story they was trying to tell. In the initial gameplay, they really didn't show much, but this time when they showed this game, I'm sold. This game looks really fucking good. I really want to play this game. I really want to see this game not only succeed. I do want to see this game released on Nintendo Switch too. I think that game is I think that also is a sleeper hit with the South of Midnight. That really looks really goddamn cool. Now, the next 2 games. If you haven't seen Expedition 33, yet, you might want to go watch their gameplay trailers. Or watch the whole Xbox Developer Direct over again. Exposition 33 was on my radar for a while. Simply because it takes on this new turn-based combat, real-time sequence type of gameplay style that really turns turn-based combat for RPGs on top of his head, and it looks really, really phenomenal. But after today, and we hear about the story elements and what, the Exposition 33 actually means, the meaning behind it, the characters, the voice acting, the scenes, the scenery, the world, the atmosphere. This game really is looking like something that can really be a Game of the Year contender, and it's from a very small studio that we barely ever heard about. That's what's really shocking to me. So that also looked goddamn phenomenal. Then the next thing, of course, was Doom: The Dark Ages. I didn't think there was really much more they could do with Doom, and I was definitely proven wrong. Bethesda definitely proved me wrong. ID Software proved me wrong. There's definitely a lot more they can do in Doom, because they damn sure did it in Doom: The Dark Ages. I could tell you that. I like the setting. I liked all the new weaponry, especially the shield. I like that you can actually get inside of a giant fucking Jaeger, a giant goddamn mech, and do damage. The only thing that was disappointing about Doom: The Dark Ages is the simple fact that I think it's confirmed now that it has no multiplayer. So I have no idea what went into that decision, but I have no clue why they thought having no multiplayer in a Doom game, when Doom is kind of known for that thing. So I think that's confirmed now. I haven't been back on the internet to actually see if it's been confirmed, but I think it is now, that Doom: The Dark Ages is not going to have multiplayer. I'm really pondering why that decision was made. That's kind of really weird out of left field, and it kind of tarnishes the anticipation for that game a little bit. Don't get me wrong, Doom: The Dark Ages look phenomenal. All four of these games look, all five of them, because we did see Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, the remake, in Unreal Engine 5. All of them look goddamn phenomenal. I'm talking about crisp, polished, ready to go. And what's also crazy about it is you got a release date for everything. You got a release date for Expedition 33, which is April 24th. You got a release date for South of Midnight, which is April 8th. You got a release date for Doom: The Dark Ages, which is May 15th. You got a release date for Ninja Gaiden Black 2, the remake, which was today. Excellent stuff dropped, by the way. And you got a release window for Ninja Gaiden 4, which is fall 2025. So, altogether, this is hands down the best Xbox Developer Direct they have ever done. Easily. It is the best one they have ever done, easily. Every game was presented very well. Nobody wore out their welcome. Nothing lagged along, nothing dragged. You know what I'm saying? It was a steady pace, and we had some good damn surprises. I'm still shook that we have the GOATs, Platinum Games, the GOATs of the action genre, teaming with a historic developer of the action genre in Team Ninja. So I'm still kind of taken back by that. That was I never seen that coming in a million damn years. And I'm happy to see that, not only because it's a collaboration that I definitely want to see the fruits of that labor of that, but I think it also puts to rest all the rumors about Platinum Games that has been going around over the last month or so. Because obviously Platinum Games is doing just fine, and obviously Platinum Games is busy working. So, you know what I mean? So it's I'm happy on that front, because we had a lot of kind of not so nice things floating around about Platinum Games over the last month and a half or so. So this Xbox Developer Direct, I'm actually going to rate this one, and I can give this one an easy 9 out of 10. Easily. Like that those are every one of those games I want to play. And most importantly, every one of those games I want to play on Switch 2. That's the most important part, and we are going to segue right into the most important part about this damn video. Now, here's the thing that people obviously ain't caught on to yet, so I'm going to explain it to y'all real quick. We know Microsoft is supporting the Nintendo Switch 2. We already have the report that they're going to be the biggest publisher on the Nintendo Switch 2. And we already know that third-party support on Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be ramped up to the 10th degree on this console versus what it was on the Switch 1. Unprecedented third-party support that we probably ain't never seen since Super Nintendo, Super NES. So, but what also brings to mind here is all these developers, and especially Microsoft, have history with Nintendo already. We already got reports of Flight Simulator 2024 coming up for Switch 2, Halo Master Chief Collection coming out, Fallout 4. What else? It was some other Microsoft titles. Basically, a lot of Microsoft stuff kind of got leaked pretty early. And a lot of insiders are saying the same thing about the games coming. But the insiders just kept saying there's a lot of stuff, and it's more than what they're saying. And I think today we seen the more. We seen it today. During the Dark Ages, I really figured that was going to be a shoo-in anyway for the Nintendo Switch 2. You could pretty much guarantee that game is going to be on the Switch 2. You ain't got to worry about that. Ninja Gaiden 4, you could pretty much guarantee that. Nintendo has a stellar relationship with Team Ninja, who obviously did Metroid Other M. They also did Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch. I don't think I need to say Nintendo history with Platinum Games. We already know they're tight as hell. So we know for sure the Doom the Dark Ages and Ninja Gaiden 4 are going to be on Nintendo Switch 2. That's really fucking easy. That's really easy. Now, what comes into question is obviously South of Midnight. South of Midnight is the only game that they shown at this Xbox Developer Direct that wasn't announced as a multi-platform release. It only mentioned Xbox Series and PC, while all the other games mentioned other platforms like the PS5. So, also, that was kind of funny to see during the Xbox Developer Direct that they actually showed stuff that, not actually showed stuff, but they actually showed and showed you on the screen that it's releasing on PS5. That's the first time we saw that. So, yeah, they're full third party now. They're not even hiding, no way. They're not even hiding anymore. So yeah, South of Midnight is the one that's very questionable, simply because they didn't show it as a multi-platform release. But I find that hard to believe that a game like that, a high-quality AA game like South of Midnight, I find it hard to believe that they're going to basically, chain it to the Xbox Series consoles, where a game like that probably will see absolutely more success on the Nintendo platform. I just see that the Xbox audience, they kind of do fuck with those type of games a little bit more than the PlayStation guys do, but not like how the Nintendo fans do. Not at all. So I just can't see them really anchoring that game to only the Xbox Series consoles. I feel like that game will come to Switch 2 before anything else, before they release it on anything else. So I'm iffy about that because they didn't say anything. So that's probably a game that's probably going to come way later down the line for other consoles. But I'm willing to go on a limb and say you're going to see that on Switch 2. Now, the biggest question mark of them all is Expedition 33. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know. I don't know what the future entails for this game, but I am going to reiterate the theory I was telling y'all about in previous videos. Third parties got to make money. Third parties have to make money. And this is a small studio, so they got to make as much money as they want to, as much money as possible. The game is already confirmed to come into Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. It's basically going to release on everything. So I really don't see a situation where this game does not release on the Switch 2. Seeing how this is a small studio and they need to make as much money as possible, and obviously you can tell the Switch fan base, they love RPGs. And this is right up our damn alley. You know, we are the guys that boost about, you know, Xenoblade. We're the guys that boost about Dragon Quest. We're the guys that boost about Pokemon, unfortunately, even though it's in a trash ass state right now. So we are the guys that boost about Bravely Default. We're the guys that boost about Fire Emblem. This game really goes right up our alley. So I'll be hard pressed to think that these guys will sit back and not let this game released on Switch 2. But obviously that's going to have to come at a later date, because obviously how polished this game is, this game been in development for quite a damn while. So I don't see that coming quickly. So now we're going to switch to, are all Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch 2? Are all of them coming to Switch 2? And the answer I have for that, is a resounding hell yes. A resounding hell yes. Why can I say that so confidently? It's pretty simple. First of all, Microsoft has waved the white flag. They have waved the white flag high as hell in the sky. That's number one. Number two, people seem to forget. They seem to forget very, very, very quickly, for some damn reason, that Microsoft and Xbox strongest partnership outside of their own ecosystem is with Nintendo. They have supported Nintendo platforms more than they have supported any other platform. I need to remind y'all of something, because some people kind of forgot that this kind of existed. So I think I need to take it upon myself to refresh people goddamn memory. You know what I mean? Because I know the first thing that's going to come to people's mouths, and when the haters, you know, come around, is going to be the first thing they're going to say, well, I don't see Switch running that. You know, getting back into the whole power discussion of that bullshit again. But people seem to forget what Nintendo and Microsoft have done over the last and people don't remember, but I remember this. I remember a certain campaign that kicked off, and people seem to have forgotten about it. But I ain't forget about it, because it was very weird at the time when they did it, but now I understand. Now I understand what's going on. Lo and behold, people definitely forgot. About this Survive Together campaign. This was 7 years ago now. I completely forgot about it. It was 7 years ago. So I've always said to people, like, ever since I seen this, I knew something else was going to start brewing. And the Survive Together campaign, when they kicked off the whole Survive Together campaign, and it was all over the internet, all over social media, and people was like, what the hell is going on? This is before Xbox obviously went full third party out, by the way. But that's how far Nintendo and Xbox relationship goes all the way back. And I also mentioned about the stuff they let, Nintendo do on their platforms. Obviously, Banjo-Kazooie is in Smash. Obviously, bringing 007 back over on the NSO. So they're pretty cool where they're at right now. Obviously, when they put Steve in Smash too, out of Minecraft, so it's Nintendo has definitely done them a solid on a couple of things. So I really don't have any. What's the right word? I really don't have any doubts about any Microsoft games hitting the Nintendo Switch 2. Simply because the relationship is already there. The hardware is already capable. The Switch is already a very capable, powerful fucking beast. And they also signed a 10-year Call of Duty contract with these guys. So I don't think it's going to be hard to find out that, yes, the majority of their games are going to end up on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the main ones I want to see is definitely the Flight Simulator. I definitely want to see Halo Master Chief Collection. Can you imagine Halo gracing a Nintendo platform? Everybody really talks about Halo. Oh, if Halo's on PlayStation, Halo on PlayStation would be a big deal. Nah, I don't think so. I think the bigger deal would be Halo gracing a Nintendo console. Because what speculation that leads to if Master Chief graced a Nintendo console. The one thing that people obviously want to happen when it comes to Halo and Master Chief gracing a Nintendo console. Oh yeah, that's Smash Brothers. They're looking for that Smash Brothers crossover. And I think, honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think y'all going to get it this time around. As many years or decades people been thinking and asking about that and crying and whining about it, I think y'all finally going to get it this time around. Whatever Smash Brothers is going to be developed, whenever Smash Brothers is going to end up being showing its face on Nintendo Switch 2, which I don't think is going to be anytime soon. I think y'all finally going to get it this time. I think y'all are. But I want to go over these lists of Xbox games that have been rumored so far to come. And I'm trying to find that list again. I'm like, where'd that list go, bruh? I don't know where that list went, because I definitely had it. I definitely had that list. Damn, where did I put that thing? Okay, I think I found it now. But yeah. Yeah, I think that, here we go. I don't find it. See, I told you I don't found it now. So here we go. I know everybody's going to think about, oh, you need a crossover between Metroid and Halo. I'm one of those people that don't want to see that. I don't understand why people want to see that. Like, what's so amazing about seeing that shit? I don't want to see that. I don't think it goes together well. I don't think those two universes go together well at all. But here we go. All right, here we go. Now we got the list right here. That's the one I missed. Okay, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's one of the Xbox games. Halo Chief, I said Halo Chief. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. It's the second one. Third, Diablo 4. The fifth one, obviously a Call of Duty game. We know they signed a 10-year contract with Call of Duty. Black Ops 6. We already know. Fallout 4, and obviously this one here is Starfield. Which came out of left field because Starfield ain't even released on any other consoles yet besides the Xbox Series consoles. So those are the games that are already rumored to come, and plus some other ones. So looking at this list, if this list is actually factual and it's actually going to come to fruition, it's really hard to believe that Microsoft will willingly leave out Doom the Dark Ages after Doom already been on Switch for every release they've had in the last few years. So I kind of think that's going to be an obvious one. It's hard for me to believe that Ninja Gaiden 4 wouldn't come to Nintendo Switch 2 either, considering that, Nintendo already works with Platinum Games, Nintendo already works with Koei Tecmo, Nintendo already works with Team Ninja, and they already work with Xbox. Xbox is the publisher of Ninja Gaiden 4, so I'd be hard-pressed to think Ninja Gaiden 4 wouldn't be there either. Then we come to Expedition 33. Now, Expedition 33, I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know if it's confirmed yet. Is Xbox the official publisher of that game? Or is that game published by somebody else? Does anybody know in the chat? Or are they self-publishing the game themselves? Because I never really got a name for a publisher for Expedition 33. Actually, I'm going to try to find it right now, but I don't think... Okay, no, Xbox is not. They're not the publisher. It's Kepler Interactive is the publisher. I have no idea who these guys are. Have y'all heard of these guys before? I have not heard of them no more. Yeah, they probably do have the marketing rights, but they are not the publisher. So I'm trying to figure out who is these guys. Okay, the game is being published by the same people who publish the game Sifu. Y'all remember that little, I call it the karate game. I call it the karate game. All right, so they're the publisher of the game, and they don't have a big publishing history either. They also published Flintlock, which that game was garbage. Yeah, they only have a history of publishing like 8 games in its lifetime, so that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So, yeah, we really got to see how that one turns out. But I'm going all in. And I'm telling you, Devil's Third. No, we don't need to come back to no Devil's Third. Y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'. That game was, oh my God, that game was a broken, beautiful disaster. That is the correct way to describe Devil's Third for Wii U. I mean, that was a broken, beautiful disaster. The only beautiful part was the gameplay and the gameplay innovations they tried to bring. Everything else was fucking trash. Everything else was fucking trash in that game. So, if we go ahead and count Ninja Gaiden 4, and we go ahead and count Doom the Dark Ages, and I'm not going to count South of Midnight. So, that will bring the total. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would bring the total games that Microsoft is bringing to Nintendo Switch 2 to 8. So, that'll be Ninja. Oh, that's my bad. 9, because I keep forgetting Ninja Gaiden Black, the remake. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, the remake. So that brings 9 games. So that'd be Ninja Gaiden 2 remake. That'd be Ninja Gaiden 4. That'd be Doom the Dark Ages, Starfield, Fallout 4, Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Now, let's just assume all of that is true. Let's just assume all of that is factual. At this point, why would we not expect anything else to come? Oh, I forgot the other rumored game was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So it is 10. My bad. I forgot about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So 10. 10 rumored games to be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. So why stop there? Just bring the whole damn slate. There's no point in stopping at that point. You might as well bring the whole damn slate at that point. There's no need. There's no need to stop. Just bring the whole damn slate at that damn point. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I don't see a situation where Microsoft, in the way they've been operating over the last couple of years, in the way they've been operating over the last 24 months, that they won't just go ahead and just bring the whole slate to the Nintendo Switch 2. I might sound like a broken record with this particular saying, but it is important and it is very indicative about what can possibly go down. And it's the simple fact, small fact that these people gotta make money. And when it comes to Microsoft, their whole movement over the last 24 months has been about making money and turning a profit for Microsoft. So it doesn't make any sense for them to omit any games from releasing on Nintendo Switch 2. It just doesn't. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is run back this Ninja Gaiden footage because it was that damn beautiful. It was that damn beautiful. So we're definitely going to run that back. Also, Perfect Dark. That's another one. I'm glad somebody said that. Perfect Dark is another one. That has to be a no-brainer. That has to be a shoo-in. That has to be a guarantee. I just don't see any situation where you don't do Perfect Dark. It just falls in line how their relationship with Nintendo has been for so damn long. I'm not gonna lie, when I first seen this come on the screen, I was a little bit confused. And then I saw the Platinum Games logo. Woo! Woo! I was like, oh, we doing work. We doing work. There's no developer better in the action genre than Platinum Games. They are the S tier. They are the gods. They are the top of the totem pole. They are number 1, number 2, and number 3. There is nobody in their realm right now. They run that whole genre. They've been running it for like 2 fucking decades now. 2 decades. Well, not 2 decades. Has it been 2 decades? Hold up. When Bayonetta came out? 2008? It ain't 2028 yet, so it ain't 2 decades yet. But well over a decade, they have been running the action genre, and it seems like nobody's going to be able to touch them. The way they do, just the art design, the way they continue to find innovative ways to do action. The action is always intense, it's always fast-paced, it's always great. And then they have some of the best designs in action games ever. So this looks absolutely amazing. So I'm really happy about this collaboration. I can't wait to play this on Switch 2, man. I can't wait. So Switch 2 lineup coming out later is looking probably the most insane console launch lineup you will probably ever see in your lifetime. Y'all have to really think about that. Especially when it comes to all these Xbox games that are coming to Switch 2. And we already know Nintendo's going to do their thing. Obviously, we know Mario Kart 9. Obviously, know that 3D Mario is definitely going to hit sometime this year. We already heard about how EA is going to support. We already seen Ubisoft, creaming their pants ready for the Switch 2. Y'all got to understand something. Something very, very, very important. Look at that Platinum Games logo. Oh, man, them dudes, man. Platinum Games is the top 10 developer in this whole industry in a whole period. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. They're a top 10 developer. They have shown that. They have proved that time in and time out. Every time you give Platinum Games every time you give Platinum Games something to work with, they turn the shit into gold. They turn the shit into platinum, pun intended. Every time you give them shit to work with and you let them do their thing, they turn shit into gold. They turn it into platinum every time. But yeah, looking at this Nintendo Switch launch lineup, and I don't think it really hits people yet. I don't think it's really dawned on people yet. I don't think people really have, sat down and downloaded and digest what this Nintendo Switch 2 launch lineup is going to look like. I just named off 10 to 11 Xbox games that are potentially coming to the Switch 2. Where 10 of them most likely are all going to release before the end of the year. Now, I don't know about y'all, but, the Switch 2 is kind of lining up to launch somewhere between, early June until July, which only gives it about 6 months of shelf life for the year of 2025. And we're already looking at 10 Xbox games or more releasing on the Switch 2. Then we have to add in Mario Kart 9. Then we have to add in 3D Mario. Then we have to add in the games Ubisoft are releasing, which most likely will be Assassin's Creed Shadows and probably some little bit other things. Then we have to add in the EA games that are releasing, which most likely are going to be Madden and college football and obviously Football Club, the soccer game. Then we have to add in Bandai Namco that's releasing the games, which we kind of already know is Tekken 8 and the other games that are probably releasing, because they had about 3 of them. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. This is no way that game is not one of them. And I expect the other game to be Elden Ring Night Ring. Then we have to add in another third-party publisher. Hold on, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody important. Square Enix. So we know Square Enix is going to be there at launch as well. So you count that as Final Fantasy VII Remake. You can count that as I wouldn't even count out Final Fantasy Rebirth at this point in time. You obviously, that's going to be Visions of Mana, and possibly Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 16. So that's a lot of fucking games, people. I don't think y'all realize that's not even all the publishers, by the way. We still got Warner Brothers that's releasing something. It's probably going to be Mortal Kombat 1 and obviously Gotham. Like, I think Gotham Knights, that trash ass game nobody wants. Who else was on there? Atlas, which is probably going to be Metaphor ReFantazio. So when we add in all the Nintendo stuff, you're looking at it potentially with Switch 2 having a launch lineup. When we add in all the Microsoft titles, when we add in all the Nintendo titles that we know for sure that's going to happen, there's probably going to be at least 3. We'll probably see a lot more, but obviously ones that are going to release at least 3 in a launch window. Then you add in all the Xbox titles. Then you add in all the Square Enix titles. Then you add in all the Ubisoft titles. Then you add in all the Bandai Namco titles. I forgot about Capcom. Then we got to add in the Capcom titles, which is probably Street Fighter 6 and Monster Hunter Wilds. Then you added the Bandai Namco. You're looking at a launch lineup for Nintendo Switch 2 that's going to be somewhere in the realm of probably 30 to 40 fucking games. And what I mean by launch, I mean launch day to the first 6 months. I mean launch day to the end of 2025, December 31st. You're looking at probably somewhere around 30 to 40 games. I have never experience a console launch that massive ever since I've been alive. Can you imagine just having that amount of games at your disposal? And you just got to think about it, because it's just like, that's the stuff we kind of know, and it's stuff that's kind of already been hinted at us already. There's definitely some shit out there we don't know about. There's definitely some shit out there we don't know about yet. But the simple fact that we're looking at 30 to 40 titles already, just based off of rumors, leaks, confirmations, and stuff we already know about, it's insane. That would be the grandest launch lineup in a console's history. I don't think people are really ready for that. And as Egomaniac said in the chat, Switch 2 is going to destroy everything. Switch 2 is going to destroy everything. I don't see a situation, especially in Japan. That situation in Japan is so dire, is kind of hilarious. It's just Nintendo has ridiculously deboed everybody in Japan and completely has taken over. It's a sight to behold. Switch 2 owners are going to be eating good very early on, and third parties are going to be cashing them checks really good early on as well. But I don't see, especially with all the hype that has happened with the Nintendo Switch 2 since it got revealed, I don't see Microsoft holding back anymore. I think Microsoft is going to go very hard on the Nintendo Switch 2. I think Microsoft is going to basically peel back the veil and say, fuck it, we're going all in. Because what do they have to lose? What do they have to lose? They're definitely not trying to have the Xbox Series consoles outsell the PS5 or any Nintendo console. Microsoft is on Phil Spencer's fucking neck about turning a profit with these games. So I don't see a situation where the whole slate of Xbox games are not coming to Nintendo Switch 2. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that the whole slate is definitely coming to Nintendo Switch 2 based on what we have seen out of Xbox and Microsoft for the last 24 months. I think you can obviously put that in the guaranteed bucket. Put that in the lock it in bucket. Put that in the greatest console launch of all time bucket. Because that's exactly what it will equal to. Could you just imagine Perfect Dark coming back home on a Nintendo platform? Could you just imagine Banjo-Kazooie coming back home on a Nintendo platform? Could you imagine, for the first time, Halo graces a Nintendo platform, with the potential of Master Chief probably being the Smash Brothers? Could you imagine? No, we don't want Doom Guy in Smash. No, we don't want Doom Guy. Could you imagine one of the most ambitious titles ever in gaming, Starfield, coming to a new home on Nintendo Switch 2? Could you just imagine Elder Scrolls 6 finding a new footing on a Nintendo platform? Could you imagine Fable finding a new home on a Nintendo platform? Could you imagine Gears of War finding a new home on a Nintendo platform? Could you imagine Clockwork Revolution finding a new home on the Nintendo platform. And could you imagine, especially with this beautiful game that's on your screen right now, South of Midnight finding its rightful home on a Nintendo platform? Honestly, I think all of that is going to come to fruition. The only thing I'm very iffy about is Fable. I don't know about Fable, but I'm pretty confident about South of Midnight. I'm pretty confident about Perfect Dark. I'm super motherfucking confident about Perfect Dark. And I'm hella confident in everything else. I just don't see a situation where Microsoft says, hey, let's put Halo on a Nintendo platform and give it a go to see what happens, and they don't do it for Gears of War. Does that make any sense? Not really. I don't see a situation where Microsoft says, hey, let's put Starfield on Nintendo Switch and let's just see what happens, but you don't do that for Elder Scrolls 6 or any other Fallout games. I just don't see that happen. It doesn't make any sense. I can't see Microsoft saying, hey, let's do Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on Nintendo Switch 2 and not bringing Perfect Dark over or South of Midnight over. I just can't see those situations. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make much sense at all. You know what I'm saying? It just really doesn't make any sense how you can just pick and choose. It's going to be this, it's going to be that, but we're just going to keep these other ones over here, and it's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be one of those Phil Spencer case-by-case basis, which, you know, kind of really never held any fucking weight to begin with when he said it. It never held any weight when he said it any goddamn way. So, yeah, I don't see any situation. I think these insiders and his reports, there's been multiple reports now. Not just one or two, there's been multiple reports now. I just don't see a situation where it's only the games that we have been hinted about that are coming from the Xbox brand to Nintendo Switch 2. And another interesting point about the whole thing with the Xbox games coming to multiple platforms, specifically Nintendo Switch 2, is that people haven't really thought about this situation either. After the tremendous success of Grounded, which was one of the trashiest Xbox games they've had recently, that was pretty successful on the Nintendo Switch and the PS5. After another trash-ass game, Sea of Thieves, did exceptionally well on the PlayStation console, I don't see a situation where Microsoft and Phil Spencer and the crew look at the Switch 2 and don't say, let's go all in. Because one little fact or one little tidbit that people ain't really thought about is that Microsoft is kind of really doubling up on their profit with their new strategy they have now. Because right now Microsoft is all about pushing everything Game Pass. Game Pass this, day one, Game Pass this, that, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. That's really their thing. And it has helped them a little bit. Obviously, they gain Game Pass subscribers, and it's working a little bit to have day and date on Game Pass. But as far as other consoles, if you can push Game Pass like you have been doing on the Xbox Series consoles and PC, and then you could turn around and sell the games for a full price on the Nintendo platform and on the PlayStation platform, you just basically almost making double of the profit that you would anyway. I think that's kind of like a smart strategy. I think that's a strategy they're going to continue to go for. It kind of shows you that that's a strategy they're going to go for anyway. Right now, you know the PlayStation brand guys are going to buy it anyway. So just sell the game at them full price and still have your Game Pass day and date on your Xbox Series consoles and PC. You already see the Nintendo fans are going to buy certain games that you send over there. So release it on the console, make your money at full price, still push your games day and date on PC and Xbox Series for Game Pass. I think that's going to be their new model going forward. And if I'm being honest, it's a smart model. It's a smart model. It does still give them a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, no, not a lot at all, just a little bit of an advantage of them promoting their own console, where they can really hang their hat on Game Pass day and date as a promotion tactic for people to buy their console. Because Phil said it himself, they're not going to out-console Nintendo, they're not going to out-console Sony. So Game Pass is the way they went. So I guess the only true exclusive that Xbox is going to have from this point on is Game Pass. That seems to be the model, because I haven't seen, besides South of Midnight, I haven't seen any other new Xbox games that haven't turned up to be multi-platform games now on PlayStation. South of Midnight is the only one that still has that branding of Xbox Series and PC. Everything else has just went multi-platform, like we kind of predicted, like we kind of thought that was going to happen. So I think that's just really what their model is going to be. I don't see a situation where Microsoft looks at that and Phil Spencer look at the sales of Sea of Thieves and looks at the sales of Pentiment and looks at the sales of Grounded and says, yeah, we're just going to release games on a case-by-case basis on multiple on competitors' platforms. Nah, I think they had to really been licking their chops when, for some fucking odd reason, people bought Sea of Thieves and fucking Grounded. Probably the two most uninteresting, ugly, and worst Xbox games they have released in the last 4 to 5 years. So they had to be really ecstatic to see some of you morons buy those two whack-ass games. But I applaud you morons that bought those two whack-ass games, because it's now going to lead to us getting the rest of their damn games. So I applaud you, because I have no idea why people bought Grounded. I have no idea why people play Sea of Thieves. That shit is trash. But hey, y'all helped us get to this point, so I will give you a golf clap for that. Appreciate you. You got us to a point to where we wanted to be, so I can't be too mad at you. But I think that's a real good indicator. That's a real good indicator of this is probably going to be their strategy moving forward, because they can recoup the development money, make profit on top of that, and they still can push Game Pass subscriptions as a priority. So I think this is the way of the new Xbox. Like they said, a new marketing campaign. Everything is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. It's like, but the only thing I really wanted to say as the last tidbit about this whole Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch 2 situation, and I just want people to really think about this and think about it really, really, really hard. That's a good term. Thank you in the chat. Useful idiots. They definitely was useful idiots in this situation. I'm talking about the people that bought Sea of Thieves and Grounded. So, but I want to talk about this small little last tidbit here. I want y'all to just imagine. How differently it would be right now if Microsoft didn't pull the plug on Phil Spencer. Everything we have seen from Xbox over the last 18 months, starting with probably Starfield, because Redfall was trash. Everything we have seen from Starfield on has been pretty much on the money. And I know Phil Spencer has to cry in his room at night to really understand that Microsoft pulled the plug on him so early. All this shit that we seeing now was supposed to be Xbox exclusive games. All those buying all those studios, the major acquisitions, all that shit. All of it was supposed to be to create a exclusive game ecosystem for Xbox. Could you just imagine all the shit we have seen in the last 18 months that could have been and was supposed to be solid Xbox exclusive games? They would have had a really game-changing lineup. They could have really turned their whole fate around for the Xbox Series consoles. But looking at it now, Phil has to be the one that goes in his room and cries himself to sleep at night, because he had a plan, and his plan would have definitely fucking worked. It would have worked. The amount of games that they have announced, the amount of games they have released in Starfield, and the amount of games they have in the development that look absolutely phenomenal right now, all of it was supposed to have been Xbox exclusive. All of it should have been Xbox exclusive. But now we sit in a reality where all of it is for everybody. All of it is for everybody now. It's she for the streets now. Ain't that how Future says? She for the streets now. But I actually thought about that looking at this Xbox Developer Direct today, and I was like, damn, if Phil Spencer just could have got Microsoft to hold the fucking line, like all those Xbox fanboys say, if he could have got Microsoft to hold the fucking line, the Xbox brand would be sitting pretty right now. The Xbox console would be sitting fucking pretty right now. Because Sony right now is in a fucking disaster zone. They're in a disaster zone. I don't know what's going on with them canceling damn near 10 plus games. Like they're in a disaster zone. But Xbox would have been sitting fucking pretty right now, bro. And I know that hurts Phil Spencer to his heart, because management didn't believe in his vision. Management did not believe in his plan. And it has to be so fucking hurtful to see your plan actually come to fruition, but your own boss didn't believe in you. It's wild, people. Y'all got to think about this. Doom the Dark Ages would have been exclusive. Gears of War would have been exclusive. Indiana Jones would have been exclusive. Starfield would have remained. Well, Starfield is still technically exclusive right now. Exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Ninja Gaiden 4 would have been exclusive. Like, Fable would have been exclusive. Perfect Dark. It's ridiculous the amount of games he has been able to build up, and management failed him in Xbox. I just thought about that today. That's some wild shit. They could have really contended with Nintendo for first party lineup if Phil could have got them to hold the fucking line. Damn. So it's just certain situations like that you just gotta shake your head and say, damn. Y'all could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. But you ain't. And I'm finna play all that shit on Nintendo Switch too. So thank ya. Thank ya. Thank you, gaming gods. Thank you for the faith that you had on Phil Spencer, because man, that Phil, my heart goes out to you, man. You drew up a great blueprint and Microsoft failed you. And the fucked up part about it is that you get all the blame for it. Like you decided to do this shit. Like you decided to take Xbox in this direction. Ah, man, you had a great plan and they didn't believe in you, man. But another man's disaster is another man's treasure. Another man's disaster is another man's treasure. So we'll welcome your whole playing field with open arms here at the Nintendo Switch in the Nintendo congregation. We're going to enjoy all these games. Please just give us all of them. Don't spare anything. Don't hold nothing back. Just throw it all out there, because what's the fucking point of holding on to anything anymore at this point? Microsoft already pulled the plug on you, man. So it's like, just bring it all here. We're waiting. You can send Sarah Bond over here too if you want to, with her fine ass. So, we'll buy most of the shit that y'all put out. You know what I mean? Everything is looking great. So just send it on over here. But damn, Phil, I feel for you, because that's a tough pill to goddamn swallow. But don't worry, Phil. We're going to pick up the slack for you. We will make sure that games like Perfect Dark will sell well on Nintendo Switch 2. We will make sure games like Gears of War will sell well on Nintendo Switch 2. We will make sure games like Flight Simulator, Halo Master Chief Collection, Doom, The Dark Ages, Indiana Jones, and The Great Circle, we will make sure to you, Phil, that those games will sell great on Nintendo Switch 2. You have nothing to worry about on that accord. You have nothing to worry about on that accord. So that's what I have to say about Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. I think it's all but confirmed at this point. I don't think there's a situation where there will be an Xbox game skipping the Nintendo Switch 2, considering that Microsoft and Nintendo has the stronger relationship out of any other partner they have. And the Switch 2 is obviously going to be a powerful beast, which is going to land somewhere between the Xbox Series S and the PS5. Oh yeah, and we also have DLSS technology that's not going to be available in any other console on the fucking market. So we're going to be sitting really goddamn pretty over here. So right now, obviously, I'll take some questions. How do y'all feel about the games you saw? Which games are you looking more forward to releasing on Nintendo Switch 2? And obviously, I can also answer a few questions before I get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because, a brother hungry. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I need to eat something. You know what I'm saying? So, Switch 2 domination is definitely going to be a thing. The Insomniac CEO situation is really interesting. I was really shocked about that guy leaving. Don't really know why he left. So he said he's retiring, but last time we heard somebody from Sony that was retiring, they really kind of got the boot, Jim Ryan. So yeah. Damn, did I miss a question? Hold on. Any questions? Any questions before we get on out of this live stream here? Yes, Nintendo and Microsoft are both in the same area, in the Seattle area. Yeah, they are. Looking forward to Doom, The Dark Ages, and then Gaiden 4 and Halo. I think Halo, in all honesty, will actually probably be more successful on the Nintendo platform than the PlayStation. As wild as that sounds to some people, I think Halo would be more successful and sell more on Nintendo than actually PlayStation. Y'all think they held off from announcing third-party games for Switch 2 to announce them in April? Okay, yeah, let me address that. That's what I forgot. I felt like I was forgetting a subject, but that was definitely something I had to talk about. Yeah. The reason why you are still not seeing anything confirmed for Switch 2 is because obviously Nintendo is not allowing them to announce things for Switch 2. That's pretty obvious. It's the same reason why Nintendo themselves have not announced any software for the Switch 2 officially. I think it has a lot to do with what's coming out on Switch 1 from now until April, and probably a little bit later than that. They kind of really don't want to mess up the sale. Nintendo has shown you they're not going to disrupt. They're not going to disrupt Switch 1 sales and Switch 1 hardware sales, Switch 1 software sales. They showed you that just last month for Christmas, where they could have easily debuted that Switch 2 reveal trailer last month, but they didn't do it because they're not going to disrupt the sales. And people thought I was crazy when I said that. I was like, yeah, they're not going to disrupt the sales of Switch 1. So that's really what that is about. That's nothing to worry about. There has not been one game officially announced for Switch 2. There has not been one game, one publisher, one company that has said this game is releasing on Switch 2. There's a reason why that has not happened yet. Because obviously Nintendo is stopping it, is not letting anybody do it right now. So you don't have to get discouraged or worried about the games that are being announced now, and there's no mention of Nintendo Switch 2. It's pretty obvious that nobody's allowed to talk about Nintendo Switch 2 games yet. I think that obviously has to do with the Switch 1 lineup that's still coming out. They don't want to cause any confusion for consumers. It makes sense. You got all these people, you know what I'm saying? If they allow people to announce stuff now and they start announcing Doom, Dark Ages coming and South of Midnight coming, or Starfield's coming, and the only system that is out is Switch, people are going to get confused. You know what I'm saying? So I think to minimize confusion, they're not letting anybody announce anything. They don't want to fuck up the sales of Switch 1 games. Obviously, we still have Pokemon Legends EA that need a release date. Metro Prime 4 Beyond needs a release date. We're hearing rumors that there might be a couple of unannounced Switch 1 games that's still coming out. They ain't announced yet, so it kind of makes sense why they are pumping the brakes on anybody saying anything software-wise for Nintendo Switch 2. And the second reason I think that is because they haven't fully revealed the console and all its features yet. I think that's probably the biggest reason, because obviously whatever the new innovative feature is obviously going to be a big selling point for the console, but it's also going to be something that's going to be showcased by the third parties as well. So it's probably no point in them announcing their Switch 2 versions of games if they really can't show you what they're doing with their Switch 2 version of the game, if that makes sense to a lot of people. So don't worry about shit being announced and Switch 2 is not mentioned. Nobody's saying Switch 2 name in any form or capacity right now. And obviously that has to be, it's that way because Nintendo obviously made it that way, because otherwise people would be saying shit. You know what I mean? People would be saying shit. So what's the next question? How long before Kratos on Switch? Well, I was under the impression that, that would never happen, but with the way PlayStation is continuing to downward spiral, I don't think that's a ridiculous question anymore. I don't think that's a ridiculous question anymore, to be honest with you. Like, the way they continue to downward spiral is amazing to me. I don't know. I'm just waiting for them to catch themselves, because every time we turn around, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse over there. So at this point, when it comes to a software situation, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. All I know is that they're definitely comfortable with that day and date on PC. So once you get comfortable with that, that's basically a gateway drug to everything else. That's the same way Microsoft started. Day and date on PC. The next thing you know, we're starting to creep around. Oh, we released this on Switch. Oh, we released this on PlayStation. And next thing you know, the floodgates open. So they're kind of going down the same damn path. And the fact of the matter is that they didn't even purchase the parent company of From Software. They just increased their stake into the parent company of From Software. So that was kind of really telling, and nobody really wanted to talk about why Sony would do that, because Sony would basically help them publish games on other consoles. That's basically what the parent company of From Software does. So why would Sony increase their ownership of the parent company just to fund releasing games on other platforms? That doesn't make any sense. So I think a third-party feature of PlayStation is in the cards. I think every situation you are seeing happening right now is kind of showing that. They're kind of going in the same direction of Microsoft. Jim Ryan is gone. Sean Layton got the boot. Yoshida, didn't he just get the boot too? So it's like that whole regime is totally different now. And you got some jackasses that's in charge right now, except Hiroki Totoki. Like he kind of understands what he wants to do, but that other guy that's over PlayStation, what his name, Himhurst, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't even know. But yeah, it's looking, it ain't looking too great on the Sony side right now. Let's see if I skipped the question. What surprises do we still have left for the Switch in 2025 while the new system is coming out? There's been a rumor about one big last major game coming out for Nintendo Switch 1. I don't know what that game could be, but the insider said it's for a beloved but niche franchise. So that can be anything because Nintendo has such a great, humongous catalog. I don't know. It could be Punch-Out, it could be Golden Sun, it could be Sinner's Punishment, it could honestly be anything. Oh, let me see. Yes, they still want to outsell the PS2. I think that had a lot to do with why they didn't reveal the Switch last year. So I also want people to understand, do not expect cross-gen games on Switch 2. People are still under the impression that that's what's going to happen. People are still under the impression that they're still making those predictions, and I'm sitting up here telling you, do not expect cross-gen gaming and cross-gen releases on Switch 2. It doesn't make any sense. They got ultimate backwards capability that most likely is going to be enhanced by DLSS technology. They want to break that record. They want to sell through their Switch 1 stock. So I don't foresee Metroid Prime 4 Beyond playing on your Switch 2 unless you buy the Switch game and put it in your Switch 2. I don't see Pokemon Legends ZA being on Switch 2 unless you buy the Switch game and put it into your Switch 2. Like, I don't see that happening. If they didn't care, if they had plans for doing cross-gen releases, I don't think you'll see a hold on people talking about Switch 2 games right now because it wouldn't matter to them. The sales of the Switch 1 games would not matter that much to them if they was actually going to do cross-gen releases, and they wouldn't be holding people back from announcing Switch 2 games. Obviously, it matters because I think they're in a situation where they have their plans for Switch 1 for this year. I think you're going to see shit release all the way probably till October, whatever that is. But I don't think you're going to see cross-gen releases simply because you got full backwards capability and it ain't no point. There is no point. You play the games on Switch 2 anyway. So maybe Golden Sun, probably that would be amazing. I mean, for Golden Sun to come back and it's the last send off for the Switch, kind of how like Xenoblade was the last send off of the Wii, along with the last story in Pandora's Tower. Like, we wasn't expecting that, and we got that. That was the last three big things for the Wii, and lo and behold, Xenoblade turned into an epic, great franchise. So it's I can see a good send-off. Like, I think every system besides the Wii U obviously got a great send-off game, because the GameCube, what it was, Twilight Princess. Well, yeah, Twilight Princess was his send-off game. For Wii, it was Xenoblade Chronicles and the last story. So Switch, it's obviously going to be Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends EA and something else. So yeah, that makes that kind of goes up the alley. And the situation and the stakes are a little bit bigger this time around. They're trying to have the console become the best-selling console of all time. As a matter of fact, the NPD came out, I think today, this morning. So it's like Switch. I think Switch just sold around 1 million Switches during the whole holiday season in America. So they still moving the Switches, man. So it's like, if they can get there, they can get there. Oh my God, this question, man. Does anyone know what happened with High Voltage Software, the makers of the Conduit? Hopefully they're moving on to bigger and better things in different career fields, because they wasn't that great of a developer. They were good at making great visuals. That's what High Voltage Software and the Conduit makers were good at. They lucked out. There was a big need on the Wii, and they filled that shoes, and they got them a great publishing deal with Sega, and they had their time. You know what I mean? I think story-wise, the Conduit games were pretty fleshed out, and they was pretty good. Gameplay-wise, there was a lot of, what can I call it? There was a lot of things missing. There were great ideas, but obviously on the gameplay front, they didn't have the talent to execute what their ambitions were. So they just wasn't that much talented of a developer, but they did have great ideas. So, I mean, who knows where they are now and what they're doing. Hopefully they're not closed. Maybe they're doing something, but hopefully they're doing something. But I think Sega owns that IP, so they could potentially bring that back if they want to, because I think Sega owns the Conduit, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't The Last Send-Off have to be a Kirby game? Absolutely not. Fuck Kirby and his whack ass. Yeah, I don't like Kirby. Surprise, surprise. Why are some people saying they won't be using NVIDIA DLSS technology, but they will be using only Nintendo's own DLSS technology? I don't know. I don't know why people are saying that. I think that has to do with the patent that Nintendo has filed, that was filed on December 31st, where obviously people got to understand this. Obviously, the patent that Nintendo filed on December 31st talks about DLSS, and they talk about the Tensor cores and everything, and NVIDIA. Obviously, the chip is going to be custom. So obviously, whatever DLSS they put in there is obviously going to be custom. So maybe Nintendo has some certain type of rights to it. That's why I think it's really going to happen. But it's still NVIDIA DLSS technology. It might be a custom DLSS technology because the Switch 2 is rumored to use 2 different architectures, which is kind of crazy. The Ampere architecture, which is the equivalent of what you have in your Xbox Series and PS5 consoles, and also the Ada Lovelace architecture, which is their newest architecture. The ones that, you know, use DLSS 3.5 and the DLSS 4 that you see now that just came out. So I can see a situation where obviously the chip is super custom, kind of basically how Sony did with AMD for PSSR. You know what I mean? Like they collaborated on how they gonna customize a GPU in the PS5 Pro. So I can see that's probably what the situation here is with Switch 2. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's not an NVIDIA PC graphics card in the Switch. Like it's a customized It's a customized mobile graphics card from the NVIDIA line, which is rumored to be RX 30, but we'll see. So, but yeah, I think that people are saying that because of the patent, but that doesn't fucking matter. It's literally NVIDIA's DLSS technology. That's literally what it is. Now, Nintendo can tweak it and say, and they could go to NVIDIA and say, hey, we want to use DLSS 3.5, but we want this feature from DLSS 4 in it, and we want to use this feature and use this other feature from your other graphics card. So they can pick and choose what they want custom in their GPU. So that's probably why they had to file the patent, because it's probably so customized that it's like they probably have dual ownership over it. But it is DLSS. It's not some mystical shit that Nintendo just created out of thin air. Like, but that's just people just so upset. They just want to find a way to down talk the Nintendo Switch too. Like, that's really what that is about. Like, it's not a situation where Nintendo developed their own DLSS technology and NVIDIA is sitting right there. No. I mean, there was an NVIDIA leak where all this shit got leaked, and it literally says DLSS for Switch 2. Like, we already know that's what it is. Like, it's probably just a heavy customized version. It ain't like they're just taking DLSS 3 from the PC and they're putting in the hardware. Obviously, it's obviously a very customized chip of what they're doing. So that's most, I ain't gonna say most likely, that's definitely what's happening and going on at that point in time. See if I missed any other question. I hate when I miss where I was at in the chat. Yeah, that's what people need to understand. Like, when it comes to the consoles, the consoles are always going to have customized versions of what the graphics, the GPUs are going to be, because they're dedicated gaming devices. They're not PCs. Like, I hope everybody understands that. Like, the PS5 is a custom AMD graphics card. The Xbox Series and Xbox Series S are custom AMD GPUs. They're probably 90% identical to a certain graphics card that actually AMD sells for PCs, but they have to be customized to a certain extent because it's dedicated gaming consoles. It's not a full PC. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what that situation is with DLSS and Nintendo. That's not something abnormal or anything. It's like that makes sense. And plus, this is going to be the first time that this technology graces a console. So I have no doubt in my mind that this shit is going to work probably 2 times better on a dedicated gaming console than on PC. Because PC is an open platform. You got to run so much shit. It's a PC. You got to run so much shit on top of running a game. On a gaming console, you don't have to do that. It's tailored to just run games. That's it. You ain't running no Windows OS and all this other shit, updating drivers. You ain't doing none of that shit. Like, you ain't got to worry about none of that. It's a dedicated gaming console. So DLSS is probably going to work probably 2 times better on Switch 2 than it works on PC. So, because it's a closed system. It's a closed, dedicated gaming system. And its only function is to play games. So, and a lot of people also brings up about DLSS frame gen, but here's the thing, like here's what people need to understand about the DLSS technology. And if you don't know about DLSS technology and you just keep hearing about it with Switch 2, NVIDIA has a YouTube channel. They have a 2-minute video. Go watch the 2-minute video. You will understand what everybody's talking about. Because it's that big of a deal. It's that big of a deal. It's a technology that is only going to be in the Switch 2. And it's always only going to be in the Switch 2 because they work with NVIDIA and all the other console manufacturers, including the mobile PCs. They work with AMD. So it's not a situation that this is going to come out on Switch 2 and then next thing you know, the other consoles are going to have it. They're not, because they don't work with NVIDIA. They work with AMD. So that's why I think it's imperative, if you have not, or you're not fully understanding, you're not fully aware of how DLSS works and what it is. NVIDIA has a YouTube channel. It's a 2-minute video. They explain it very basic for you to understand. Go watch it so you can understand what everybody's talking about online when it comes to this. And obviously, I know a lot of people don't know how it works, and I've seen people online try to argue with other people about DLSS, and they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. So this is why I always tell people, obviously listen to your favorite YouTuber, streamer, whatever, but still go out there and look at the shit for yourself so you can have a full understanding of what's going on. You know what I mean? So this is why it always makes me cringe when somebody said the Switch 2 is a PS4 with DLSS. It's so fucking dumb. It's dumb as hell. You know what I mean? It's dumb as hell. It's like saying it's 85 degrees outside, but it's ice on the ground. It's like, it's impossible, nigga. You can't have those two things at one time. So it's like, that's why I tell people to just go watch the video so you can understand what happens, what's going on. I'm thinking a USB port is for extra accessories, maybe VR. I don't like VR. Fuck VR. I hope VR continues to die at a rapid rate like it's doing. Nobody wants the hell with VR. What's the next question? Yeah, and that's another thing I want to say about that. Can't wait to see it in action, especially on a console and handheld. That's another thing. That's a part of the patent was at least 20 pages, and obviously everybody didn't read it. But one of the biggest things about the patent is that Nintendo filed about DLSS December 31st was they talked about DLSS and how it worked in handheld mode and how it worked in dock mode. And that's how we found out that handheld mode is 1080p, and that's how we found out dock mode is 4K, because they talked about how the DLSS technology worked in the patent for handheld mode and dock mode. So you're going to have the benefit of that in both modes. So that's what's going to make the Switch so fucking phenomenal, because is the games that are going to be running in handheld mode are going to be running so far superior than they have ran on Switch 1, simply because of their technology. What's the next question? Yeah, I heard about people complaining about fake frames and, not having real frame. That, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that shit don't matter. That don't matter. It's really the PC guys that say shit like that. But then, DLSS 4 got announced and all of them was out here busting a nut all over social media about DLSS 4 on a little 5090 graphics card that costs $1,900. So it's I pay them guys no mind. They're just remedial. They're remedial as hell. Yes, I seen the leak Switch 2 motherboard, which doesn't mean anything. You can't tell anything by looking at a picture of a motherboard, and I think it was hilarious that the whole internet tried to decipher what Switch 2 was off a picture of a motherboard. The only thing you could see is you actually could look up the serial number on the RAM from the motherboard, and it told you how much the RAM was. That's the only thing you got from that motherboard picture. That's it. Everything else you couldn't. That shit didn't tell you nothing. And I thought it was so hilarious. Yeah, people complaining about quote unquote fake frames is just stupid. I paid them no mind. What is this? Oh, somebody put out. Oh, okay. Angel Page got understands it. Angel Page understands it completely. She wrote deficient CPU, RAM deficient, dated architecture, even older parts, no ray tracing, no SSD, no neutral unit or DLSS. That's what PS4 Pro performance is in 2025. Switch 2 clears both, even in portable. Thank you. Somebody actually knows their shit. That's what that is. So if you want a simple breakdown of why it's stupid for people to say Switch 2 is a PS4 or PS4 Pro, Angel Page comment breaks it down very simply for you. Like, it's so dumb. Like, it doesn't make any sense. People are moving funny because the thought of a disruptive, high-performance Nintendo console has them petrified to their core. Yeah, that's kind of what I said in my last video when I talked about Nintendo Switch 2 power being on par with Xbox Series and PS5 consoles. Y'all can check out that video. I uploaded it a few hours ago. And I think that's the reason people are just upset at a Nintendo console being powerful again, and it's kind of sad. I don't know why it bothers people so much. I mean, y'all went through what? Y'all went through 3 Nintendo consoles complaining about power, and then Nintendo's finally going to give you power, and now you don't want it. So it's like, what? Like, I don't get y'all. It all boils down to what I said these people are in the first place. They don't like Nintendo. I tell people this all the time. I say Nintendo has the Patrick Mahomes effect. They just tired of seeing you win. Nintendo has the Patrick Mahomes effect. They tired of seeing you win. They don't want to see you win anymore. That's all this is about. Like, how do you complain about Nintendo console's power and Switch 2 is finally going to address that quote-unquote issue, and now you have an issue with that. So it's like, that makes no goddamn sense to me. Like, what? Y'all should be hyped to the heavens for this. The way y'all been bitching in the Wii U era, the way you bitched during the Wii era, the way you bitched during the Switch era, and the Switch wasn't even that weak. This whole perception about the Switch being this ultra weak console, it wasn't even that weak. That's what made this thing so even more ridiculous. So you bitch for 3 consoles in a row, and then when the situation finally changed, now you mad because it's actually going to be powerful now. It's like, what? Y'all just don't like Nintendo. Just say you hate Nintendo and be done with it. Like, we don't have to do all this fucking whack-ass rigmarole beating around the fucking bush. It's like, bruh, you complain for 3 consoles straight, and they finally giving you something, and they're gonna give you technology that ain't in any other console, and now you mad about that. It's like, that don't make no damn sense to me. Like, where's the logic in that? Make it make sense, like they be saying on the reality TV shows. So yeah, any more questions? So yeah, if even with the Mario Kart 9 situation, I'm glad somebody brought that up, where people was trying to downplay Mario Kart 9. I'm like, if every gamer knew just the basics of technical specs for consoles, it would make the internet a better place, because a lot of this bullshit that goes on wouldn't go on. It wouldn't fly. I mean, the Mario Kart 9 situation was just so head scratching to me, because obviously the game looked way better than Mario Kart 8. From the 10 seconds we saw, we really didn't see anything. And secondly, we got indirect confirmation that Mario Kart 9 is 24 players. They doubled their player count. That should tell you all alone how much more powerful this system is going to be. Like, when it comes to actually simulating characters on the screen, that takes a lot of work for a CPU to do. So the fact of the matter is, do you know how fast-paced and how chaotic Mario Kart can be and is? For the fact of the matter is that you seen a game looking that great, and then you found out toward the end of the trailer that it's actually 24 players. They doubled the player count from Mario Kart 8. That tells you alone that they're working with some serious power. To do 20, can you imagine 24 player battle mode and how hectic that would be? Do you know how capable the system has to be to handle a 24 player Mario Kart game? I don't think people just sit back and actually digest what they see, and that's kind of like half of the fucking problem. It's fast-paced and chaotic, and all the shit that goes on screen at one time in a Mario Kart game. They doubled the player count, and it's running at 60 frames per second. It's like, what? Oh yeah, they're working with some real power over there. They're working with some real power over there, man. So it's going to be crazy. That online 24 player, it's going to be crazy, man. So yeah, don't worry about Switch 2 power. It's about to be April soon. We don't have to worry about that shit too much longer. Just, look up shit for yourself. Look up the DLSS technology. Look up the micro SD Express technology. Try to learn the little basic stuff like I did. So when people start blurting shit out at you, you don't look confused, or you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? When they start talking about frame rate, ray tracing, refresh rate, and all that other shit, like they're saying shit. No, half of the time it'd be a bunch of bullshit. It'd be a bunch of bullshit. For how PC guys act like they're so knowledgeable and so smart about tech, I've realized, talking and debating with a lot of them, they don't understand the concept of how differently hardware works when it comes to a PC versus a dedicated closed gaming device. Like, it doesn't work the same. It doesn't operate the same. It doesn't process the same. Like, it's remarkable how many PC guys don't fucking understand that concept. It's hilarious to me. It's one of the main reasons why the Xbox Series S is running, and I quote, the two best looking games of the generation so far, effortlessly. And that's not me saying these are the best looking games. These games were voted the best looking games. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Hellblade 2. There's a reason why the Xbox Series S has the two best looking games, and it runs on that console. And it's not even the most powerful console available to you. There ain't no 5090 or no 4090 in no goddamn Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S. So it's like, so how are they pulling that off? They don't understand it. The processing is so differently for a gaming console than a fucking PC. But you're supposed to be these tech gurus. You're supposed to be these guys that are knowledgeable about tech, and you can't understand that simple concept. A lot of them don't understand the concept of what a fucking hybrid console is. This is why they always want to say Switch is a handheld. No, Switch is a hybrid. Switch has two power profiles. Switch has two different performance profiles. That's why it's called a fucking Switch. That's why it's called a hybrid. It has a different power performance profile in dock and a different power performance profile when it's on portable mode. It's not a fucking handheld. This is why games run differently from dock to portable mode. Common sense here, but a lot of PC guys don't even understand that simple fucking logic. It's like, you fucking morons. Like, don't get me started on the PC. I went on a rant about PC guys on another channel the other day. Don't get me started on PC people again. Because as smart as they can be the dumbest people logically I've ever interacted with. Ever. And that's an understatement, honestly. I'm being nice about it. So. Any more questions that I missed? Did I miss any more questions? All right, so yeah, I think I got all the questions. So yeah, that's all the questions. Go check out the video I uploaded earlier. You know what I mean? It's getting crazy over there because, you know, all the haters done got to the video, so the comment section is kind of wild at this moment. Be on the lookout for more Hill Truth Live. Obviously, we're getting ready for those Microsoft games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. So, you know what I mean? Until then, take care of yourself, save your money, get your coin up, get your money up, get this bag, because this Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be here quicker than you think. June is going to get here quicker than you think. So start saving your monies. Start saving your little paper. Start saving your little cheddar, because it's coming quick. It's coming very quick. And if you know anything about Nintendo console launches, you definitely want to be there day one, because you might not get one. So start saving your shit now. Start saving your shit now, because you might not get one if you try to get it later on in the year. So start saving your stuff now. Of course, this is the Hill Truth Live, where I do nothing but give you the Hill Truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. And hey, Phil, I feel for you, man. But bring me all those Xbox games.